This is the part your preachers don't teach you. It's one thing to preach a sermon, but to teach is a different subject. God said, my people's error because of lack of wisdom. When you tell a person, tell them to tell the truth, and tell them certain measures they should take how to get out of the situation they're in, and it's not taught to them, they will perish because of a lack of wisdom. It doesn't matter how long, how much you beat a man down with your bombs and your weapons and you destroy him. It's up to that man whether he should buy your good and serve you. If that man decides that he is not going to serve him, then you got to serve you, then you got to get it. Then, if another man stand up and say, well, you killed him, I'm not going to serve you, I'm going to sit down. How long, how many people would you kill before you would be the only person left up on this earth? And you would have to say, you had to make a choice between killing yourself or just starving to death. He could show you that if he hold on to his integrity towards God, it doesn't matter what you tell him to do to buy your vehicles and buy all of these here, you think you're creating another customer. He don't have to buy anything from you. It doesn't matter how many weapons you bring up against him. If he refuses to buy your goods, then the flame will go out. You will quit manufacturing all of these things. America, I saw this in America, continue to build larger barns, larger warehouse, larger storehouse, create industrial parks in this city, in that city, expanding. There was nothing to contain him because he was seeing only how much money he could make, seeing the habitat, and he kept spreading and spreading. There was no regulation to regulate him, to tell him enough is enough. And through his ways and through his work, he came demanding for more crude oil, which he didn't have. He is running out because he didn't create all these mega machines from implement to vehicles that runs up and down the road. Greed had carried him to a point of no return, where he couldn't see what he was doing and he couldn't hear what he was doing because his eyes was closed and his ears had become heavy because he was only thinking of the money that he can make, which it was a substance of no life. It never was and never will be on the foundation of the earth. Now, you don't want to hear what I got to say because I got to say it. Once he became established as the greatest nation up on the earth, he was not satisfied. The fear factor came upon him, and he decided we got to have a bigger military. We got to be the dominant military. We got to make sure that we maintain our status quo of richness by creating the largest military upon the face of this earth. So he began to build high-tech war equipment, billions and billions of dollars. High-tech fighting forces, billions and billions of dollars. Money had become the foresight of his eyes. All he could do is see his richness, and he cared nothing about the poor man like that rich man who disregarded the way disregarded Lazarus. But God has set a place for judgment for this man. He refused to turn back from his ways. He refused to see help the poor that need. He'll help them for a little bit, but he will glorify himself and not God by what he do. In doing so, he will say, this is what I did with my hand. I am the greatest nation. We did this and we did that. And they have gone throughout the nations and caused tributaries in Africa and other nations of the earth. And they are the one that comes to them and get credit for helping them, even though there's part of the social system that destroyed them and made them become tributaries. I saw this in history. So, God, who created all things, who gave everything life, he's not being glorified for what he did. Because this man is saying, look what we done did. Well, now, there came to a point in time where these mega highways, these mega vehicles, great and small, that flies, that drives upon land, and these boats that be in the water, they have become a consumption, our lifestyle, have caused them to become a consumption of most of the world oil reserves. Yet, as we try to democratize the other part of the world, to create other customers, their demand is going to also increase. In other words, God spoke concerning this matter, and Isaiah told him not to John house to house, where there would not be any place in the earth left but his house. In other words, you don't democratize the whole earth. You don't do this because when you democratize the earth, you create a situation of yourself where you is the dominant force up on this earth, and nobody has to say so but you. In Habakkuk, he said, the man that established his house by the blood is going to sooner or later become weak, and it's going to crumble to the earth. Do not do this. Do not democratize the entire world. God said this. In Isaiah chapter 6, he spoke about the drugs, and he talked about the earth going to be so destroyed until it's going to be look like an empty cottage and a cucumber bed in a God. That's the way the earth is going to be. This man, once he find out that he done lost, he's not going to take it to heart to starve. He's going to try to destroy the earth to change time. But God had prophesied this over 2,000 years ago. So if God prophesies what's going to become of this man over 2,000 years ago, he's at the brink of his end and judgment of the living God. I'm going to start today and speak concerning this charge. It showed this man had a mindset of he's a racist type person. It tells you this. And I am also writing the Bible, going through the Bible, breaking it down in parts, and explaining to you. This reason I'm working so hard to get these out here to let you know and let you hear about me. Because I'm in the process of writing the Bible and changing that and placing that which is right before you.